Do you know what I don't like about fairy tales? Is the fact that it's messed with almost every woman's mind and ingrained a deeply damaging self-belief. It's created unrealistic expectations of men, of love, of relationships, and completely disconnected that relationship you have with yourself. And I'm talking about the fairy tales that were shared with you when you were younger, the bedtime stories, or the movies you watched on repeat, that kids to this day still watch on repeat. Cinderella, Snow White, Beauty and the Beast. And in all of these fairy tales, there's one very similar pattern. The innocent woman in need of saving. The knight in shining armor, the rescuer, the protector. That's someone that's going to come and make things better. This is a problem because what ends up happening is it creates this deeply rooted belief that someone else or something else is going to help you feel better about yourself. That's going to help you feel better about your life. And when that doesn't happen, when it ends up not being true, you carry around this belief of not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, feeling unloved or unlovable. And that creates years of disappointment and negative experiences. Your relationships fail because he didn't love you in the way that you wanted to be loved. He didn't understand you. He didn't make you feel good about yourself. He didn't save you or protect you. And ultimately, he didn't live up to the expectation of a man, of a relationship, of the rescuer. And this is the crazy part. Because of this belief, when it ends up not being true, we end up carrying around this pain of not feeling worthy enough to experience this type of love or life or relationship. We start doubting ourselves. We start doubting our relationship. You start doubting your abilities. You don't have the confidence to ask for more, to set down boundaries. You don't start your own business and you stay in that deeply unfulfilling job. You lose weight and still feel fat. You dress beautifully, but you still don't feel beautiful. And you end up giving up on yourself and your health because it's just too damn difficult to be perfect. It's too difficult to fill Cinderella's shoes. And you start looking for quick fixes, things to make yourself feel better. A few bottles of wine, a new haircut, new clothes, or that toxic relationship. But none of it actually helps. None of it actually fixes anything. Until you learn to break free from that fairy tale. When you stop looking for someone or something else to make you feel better, to fix things, to rescue you. That is my understanding of self-love. That's where it starts. Because a lot of people are talking about it today. But what does it actually mean and how do you do this? To me, that's what self-love is understanding and accepting that no one is going to love you in the way that you want to be loved. When you are looking for someone else to make you feel better, when you need something from someone else, or when you catch yourself saying, I need you to make me feel loved, respected, admired, adored. I need you to understand me. When you catch yourself asking for these things outside of you, that's the first sign that you need to learn how to give that to yourself. And practicing self-love is a little tricky because it needs a level of self-awareness. You need to be able to be aware of when you catch yourself wanting or needing something from someone else or something else. When that's going to make you feel better, something outside of you. And then understanding what is it that you actually need? What is it that you're actually looking for? What are you trying to fill? And then start exploring the possibilities of how you can give this to yourself. How can you become your own knight in shining armor? How can you rescue yourself? That's self-love. It starts with you identifying that, well, that little girl inside of you that's still living in the fairy tale for someone else outside of you to fix things, to make you feel better, to live up to the expectation. When you can accept that you and you alone are responsible for creating the life that you want to create, that you alone are responsible for making yourself feel worthy, to feel enough, to feel strong and independent. It starts with you. And especially now, during this time of COVID, where there's so much uncertainty, fear, and anxiety around, it's very easy to get into conflict and frustration in your relationship. And any relationship problem is just a learning to love yourself problem. Because when you're putting all of that pressure on the person in your life or the loved one in your life, you're actually turning away from yourself. Because at the end of the day, they can't really give you what you need. Only you can. Only you can truly give yourself what your heart is longing for. No one is ever going to make you feel enough. You have to learn that in yourself. You have to learn how to actually be enough for yourself. It all starts by having a little conversation with that little girl and kind of telling her that you're the one that's going to rescue her.